Hi, my name is Albert Godey, and this is the Week 2 assignment Principles of Design screencast. The website that I chose for my previous assignment was IMDb, and I'm continuing that with this. So, navigating through the Principles of Design here, from the home page, the very first thing you see is that you have the footer across the top that has a menu selection, the website's icon, and a couple other categories, and a search bar. Scrolling down, you then have the focal point, which is the larger image that has a built-in scroll to it. And then on the right side, you have the smaller images that are also scrolling as you scroll the large image, feeding you a continuing stream of new images or trailers to click on. And I believe that this works in multiple principles of design. The focal point, obviously the large image draws my attention to it immediately. The contrast of the large image with the small images, the balance between both the large image and the collection of small images, as well as the movement, rhythm, and unity, really. It seems to me to be all encompassed in this. I think it's really slick how scrolling through the large image continually feeds the smaller images, and that adds to me what I would call the rhythm of it. But then scrolling down through the rest of the website, it starts to break up a little bit from that. You end up with a featured today category that has its own section to scroll through, but the breakdown of the movies are a little different. Sometimes you have one large image, sometimes you have multiple smaller images altogether. So it's a little inconsistent, but not to a point that I find it annoying or displeasing. What to watch is blank because it's supposed to feed from my watch list apparently. And then fan favorite, which has its own pattern. So for these three sections here, I think the balance is off. The contrast is detracting because there's not an expected consistency to the layout of what I'm seeing. It's okay if some of the images are larger and some are smaller, but the inconsistency of it kind of breaks things up for me a little bit. As well as the unity. I'm expecting something a little more cohesive altogether from this section. And then scrolling down again, you get past the fan favorites, which is very consistent and I think does everything very well. And you get to another section where it breaks up again with the more to watch, then the exclusive videos. So some of the areas, depending on how you're looking at it, and also depending on the size of your monitor that you're looking at it on, because while I have to do this video in 1080, my monitor is actually 1440, so I've shrunk my view down to fit on here. So on my monitor it actually looks better because I'm getting a larger picture or larger image of the overall picture. And I think maybe the website was designed to take advantage of that, perhaps. However, once you get past the sections where they're asking you to build guides or have favorites, then the consistency returns. So the originals has its section, the Explore What Streaming has its section, and throughout it, the images stay consistent, the same size, the scrolling through the various selections, the balance is good. Explore Movies and TV Shows, again, uses that same layout. And then as you get towards the bottom, you get additional categories, box offices, coming soons, watch soon at home, and each one, the box office has its own unique layout. Then the coming soons and the more to explore share the same layout, and you get to the final category here of birthdays and news, and each one of those have their own layout. And so while the inconsistency isn't jarring, it's noticeable. But I think if the whole thing was laid out exactly the same, then it also would lose a lot of the creativity or rhythm to what I'm looking at. The solid black background may be a little too constant dark for the white text and everything else. Maybe there should just be a darker pattern, or not as dark pattern or image back there to give a better contrast between the text colors and the background.